Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to P4P TV. This is Michael and it's been a while, but I'm back! There are a few parallels to draw in the upcoming fight between Gilberto Ramirez versus Joe Smith Jr., which will take place this coming October the 7th in Las Vegas. Both ex-champions will be making their Cruiserweight division debut and both will be coming off defeats to their previous opponents respectively. After blowing his fight against Gabriel Rosado, scheduled earlier this year in March, by coming in too heavy on the scales, Ramirez will be looking to get his career back on track. And as for the common man, Smith Jr., he was saved by veteran referee Harvey Dock in round 2 of his last fight against unified light heavyweight champ Artur Beterbiev after receiving one too many blows. Only months later, Smith would tragically lose his younger brother Alex to senseless violence. So for Joe, a win against Ramirez will not only serve as a reversal of fortune, but a win will also honour his fallen brother and pay tribute to his memory. As a side note, also featuring on the card is a young rising talent that I will be keeping an eye on. Eric Tudor, a young lad from Florida with a Romanian background. As an Australian who was born and arrived from Romania, I have some personal interest. He's only 21 years of age but looks the goods so far. We'll see how he fares on the night. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez was the talk of the town after his loss to Dmitry Bivol in late 2022. Much of that discussion was around Ramirez's limited abilities, and many in boxing circles agreed that Ramirez was exposed in his fight with Bivol. His ability to impose his size and push opponents back against the ropes in order to tee off a volley of shots had always worked for him up until the point it didn't, and Zurdo found that out against a fighter that has better movement and footwork, a fighter that can absorb punishment and not only continue unfazed but can reciprocate that power and push back. Zurdo found that out against Dmitry Bivol. Limited ability is probably a bit harsh because other than size and reach, something Ramirez has typically had as an advantage over most of his opponents, Zurdo has also demonstrated a great work rate, a good engine, decent chin, a wide range and variety of creative punches, and of course, power. Sergio Mora, whilst commentating on a Zurdo fight, once compared Zurdo's activity and work rate in the ring like that of a lightweight. This may be true, but these abilities work best when you can bully your opponent. Eventually, however, the bully meets his match. Campaigning as a professional in what will be his third weight division, Zurdo will look to repeat the success he had as a super middleweight, where he proved to be an accomplished fighter. After claiming the WBO super middleweight title from veteran and the always dangerous King Arthur Abraham, Zurdo went on to successfully defend his title 5 times before moving up to the 175-pound division in 2019. The stint at light heavyweight was a moderately fruitful one against decent opposition, albeit a stint that failed to produce a significant major title, and his first attempt at one of the 4 major belts, in this case the WBA strap, resulted in a unanimous decision loss to Dmitry Bivol. 44 wins with 30 coming by way of knockout and the 1 solitary defeat, Zurdo's resume displays a list of respectable names and ex-champions, from Arthur Abraham and earlier in his career guys like Maxim Vlasov, Jesse Hart, Sullivan Barrera, and to some extent Yunieski Gonzalez. Good wins against good fighters, many of which possess decent power that Zurdo will face when stepping in the ring with Joe Smith Jr. Both Smith Jr. and Zurdo have common opponents, and after defeating Maxim Vlasov in 2021 to become WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Common Man Smith Jr. went on to successfully defend that title just once before eventually running into a meat grinder named Artur Beterbiev. In what was a year of mixed results, 2022 went from jubilation to desolation, and obviously in the early to mid months of the following year, things went from bad to worse when family tragedy struck. Despite the gloom, the ever-optimistic and determined Smith Jr. will have his opportunity to end 2023 on a high note. Operating a tree cutting and removal service whilst also competing as a professional boxer can't be easy, and some fight fans may deem Smith to be a part-time fighter to some extent. Outside of one incident in which Smith accidentally hacked into his leg with a chainsaw while on the job 6 weeks out from a fight, he has put together a respectable record and resume, and it would seem there isn't much outside hindrance on Smith as a professional fighter. Much like Ramirez, Smith also does his best work on the inside, and he too, just like Ramirez, carries plenty of power. With the common man, you know what you are going to get: an aggressive, come-forward fighter that is looking to crowd you, make you uncomfortable, and take you out with big bombs. One-dimensional, some might say, but what he does very well. 28 wins, 22 by knockout with 4 losses, 2 by knockout. Obviously, the physical nature of Smith's style has worked well for him for the most part. Trying to match his style hasn't worked out for many of his opponents, and attempting to outbox Smith has also seen fighters come up short, as was the case when Eleider Alvarez tried combining a little boxing, a little pressure fighting, and ended up a little bit knocked out of the ring. The same place a very faded Bernard Hopkins ended up when he took on Smith. He has good wins over good competition, but when stepping up against fighters that can do what Smith does only better, he tends to fall short. Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, and Sullivan Barrera all proved to be beyond Smith's capabilities, and I wonder if Ramirez will be the same deal. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to drape myself in red and go for a jog down the streets of Pamplona, Spain during the running of the bulls, but I think either fighter has the ability to hurt the other in this fight, and it will come down to which fighter can show the more versatility and which fighter will bring the better game plan. Although I think Smith can take Ramirez out with his power, Ramirez who has never been stopped, I also think Ramirez has the better boxing brain and greater range of ability. Many will expect a knockout in this fight, but I think it goes to points in Ramirez's favour. Ramirez on points.
Thank you for watching Pound for Pound TV. Please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell for future updates. See you in the next one.
Check out our Patreon page to become a Patreon family member, where you'll receive some cool perks. If you're looking for some new threads, we've got t-shirts, hoodies, and much, much more. So head on over to our Michael Akobi Pound for Pound TV stores. They can be found on Redbubble and Spreadshop. Join me on my travels and head on over to my other YouTube channel titled Barefoot and Free. There you can follow me as I traverse the many parts of our planet and occasionally get into a spot of bother. Nonetheless, it's always fun and entertaining. If you're struggling with some of life's obstacles and challenges, my book How to Get Out of Life Traps might just be the answer that you're looking for to help guide you through the difficult times. It's helped many get past some of their darkest moments, and it might do the same to you. You can purchase it on Amazon, where you can also find a wide range of my other works. Those works include screenplay to book adaptations, a fairly unique concept, with genres covering comedy, heist and revenge, drama, supernatural and crime, if that's more your cup of tea. You can find them by following the link provided.